Several of our heroes were sitting around a table in the hideout, enjoying some nice meal, relaxing. And while that is happening, you suddenly hear the door open from the portal room, and a familiar face of the rest of you pop out with someone new in tow. I don't have time to give you the tour of the place right now. Got bigger fish to fry, so I'm gonna leave you here. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you with these folks over here. They seem to know what they're doing.
All right.
They'll show you about, get you going, and yeah, welcome.
Well, thanks. I'm not sure this is exactly my usual kind of establishment, but it'll do.
Oh, very affable looking halfling gives you a nod.
Good morrow. Or evening. I forget sometimes. The drink does that to you one. But, what are we eating?
Well, I would honestly recommend the stew. They've been cooking it for I think about the past week or two from what I can taste. And their ale's actually cool.
How about that? That's a hard thing to come by sometimes these days.
I'm pretty sure there's pocket dimensions underground. Or maybe it's just really cool in the pocket dimension. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. The ale is cool. That's all I know.
Right, well, is it at a good price? Are we paying, or is it complimentary? I'm not entirely sure.
If you work here, then you eat here for free and drink.
Well, that's the idea then.
So what exactly is your field of expertise, if you don't mind me saying? And by the way, Wendell, and he extends his hand.
Oh, indeed. Same yell. I'll shake your hand rather abruptly, possibly like kind of hitting the table a little bit as I do it.
Okay.
And the rest of you lot, names or just looks?
Hyro,
Otto, pleased to make your acquaintance. Emil,
pleasure.
is that is that a velociraptor I see across the table?
I believe it goes by Fluffy.
Ah, Fluffy then, is it? He Fluffy drink as well?
Not the alcohol, I don't think. But I mean, when it's hungry, it nibbles on whatever. You
Blood
have
perhaps.
plating on your feet, right?
Yeah, yeah. Today.
Good call. Halfling feet are entirely too tough, so I'm safe.
Like rocks I hear.
Oh, I don't know about rocks, but tougher than most leather.
Either way, it's impressive nonetheless. Perhaps I'll pop by the bar and see what's available for a sad old sod such as myself. Probably shouldn't have any more to drink, but I'm gonna take a whack at it.
What can I get you?
Just holds his head underneath the tap.
Whatever's well. Uh, something light, if you've got it. Things have been a bit dark lately in my mug.
Sure, coming right up. You can have a seat, and I'll bring it out to you in a moment.
Right, oh then, thank you. So, hero, what brings you about these parts?
Let's just say my last guild I was a part of, it was time to move on.
Hmm.
What of you?
Split with the coin and then made on for the next hole, huh?
You could say it was a little more complicated than that, but let's
My
just say
money's on he killed everybody.
Oh, he's a quiet cutthroat, is he? I like to hear that.
I prefer to more get out without anybody knowing.
Oh,
Killing is a last resort.
I could say I would agree with that to a certain point. I am, well, a bit of a brawler myself, but not exactly partial to undue harm if I can avoid it.
From my experience, usually it ends up getting you caught more often than not.
Seems that it does, doesn't it?
If it
Which
happens,
is
it
why
happens,
I
but
tend to be friendly with everybody.
so what brings you to here?
Well, I'm not entirely sure actually what the work is that we're picking up. You see, I've been on a little bit of a bender last 1, 2, 3 months, I think. What does anyone know what the day of the week is?
I'll just look around like blankly.
I
Well,
mean,
never
it's
mind.
technically still the weekend, so you should be fine if you want to have a couple more pints.
Well,
Just make sure you're functional in the morning.
well, say less then. I figure I can be right as rain whenever I'm cold, and I'll just down the entire mug of ale like in one breath.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start eating, so my mouth is gonna be occupado for a minute here. I figure I can talk between that. Actually, um, what line of work have you generally been in, then, hero?
I spend most of my time in different thieves' guilds. A lot of work doesn't really change, just the location.
You generally a high ticket kind of geezer, or more of a whatever job is on the table?
If it's paying, then I'll take it.
My kind of man.
I figure the picky you are, the less work you'll get done anyway. Might as well take a job and get it through.
Indeed.
That is true. I mean, if you're really picky about stuff, then jobs just usually don't come to you. If you're a little bit more flexible, then all sorts of things can become jobs.
Precisely.
One from one of the other tables leans back in his chair and is like, "Ah, truer words were never spoken." And
Indeed. That's how I got a very interesting payment, I should say, last week from the brothel. Oh no, not in that way. One of the girls is really good at baking.
Right.
Sure.
No,
She
seriously, it was probably one of the sweetest pies I ever tasted.
Oh, I bet it was.
Creams.
On another note, were there any good posts on the board over there?
Not that I really saw. But, I can only see up so high.
Here, I'll go check some of the higher up ones.
then there is, as you browse the top half of the postings, And
If there's a really good one on the bottom, I'm not undermining Wendell. I'm not looking at all the bottom ones. They could have big flashing lights. Amazing. Pays well. Easy. I just don't even look at it.
Literally
Strictly
just taking cash out of a grandma's house.
literally taking gold out of a baby's pocket. It's easier than stealing candy from a baby. Pays in the millions of plat.
Because the kid doesn't want the platinum.
Kid inherited millions, doesn't know what to do with it. Could take it before he understands what's going on.
Just trade it all for candy. Done.
Go buy like 5 gold of candy and trade it for hundreds of plat.
alright, yeah, you do find let's there is one job that catches your eye. There's been a job posting about a city official that someone would like to have framed for a crime and arrested.
So,
Is there anything
Camille,
else, or is that the only one? We'll keep that in mind.
That's just the only one at the moment, unless you decide to go create your own job.
And pull it off and bring it over to the table. Not a whole lot biting right now, but there's one about getting a city official arrested for a crime that we framed him for. I figure it shouldn't be too hard with our talents.
well, they don't care what they want him arrested for, so that's definitely in our favor.
It also does say we could kill him if depending on how it goes, but that could eventually tail it back to us. I feel like that should be a last resort still.
That also kind of feels a bit extreme just because somebody got hit with a bunch of fake penalties and fines.
I figure if he goes to jail goes to prison, goes to a cell for a few years, that should be more than enough to give him the message.
On a side note, is the Rusty Shield one of the places that Wendell is very familiar with?
I wouldn't say that's something you're very familiar with. You maybe stopped in there once and know of it.
It's a little too upper class for me, meaning it's not lower class.
It is lower class, but it's one of the many in town, and
Oh, okay.
it's not one that you've had the time
Gotcha.
to frequent.
So this guy does inspections. Well, I'd say let the punishment fit the crime, right? I mean, unless you guys have a better idea, maybe what we do is we wait for an inspection that we know is going to be on the books, have them pass with flying colors, and then make the place look like there was no way it could have passed inspection.
I like that idea.
We need to get a second inspector in on this, though. Which I
Yeah.
suppose that shouldn't be too hard to do. There should be connections. We should be able to find that.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, that part shouldn't be too difficult, and I'm sure word of mouth getting around would definitely get a second inspector in there pretty
But-
quick.
Would that get him arrested or just lose him his job? That might
I
just
mean-
get him fined himself and lose him a job. That's not arrested per se. I'm not sure of the laws of this city, though.
You know, one thing I was thinking was maybe if he's extorting people, we could just find somebody in the higher ups around town that maybe doesn't like the fella so much. Give him some evidence that he's extorting. Perhaps, I don't know, find a small business owner, get them to lobby for a fake inspection they don't really need, get evidence of the extortion, and drop it on somebody's desk. Get somebody else to take them to court.
That might
Chris,
not be a
gonna-
bad idea.
We could probably mix.
More ale, please.
I suppose we could almost mix the two ideas. If we have,
And Wendell's completely oblivious to the fact that that Sumail is like choking to death right next to him.
give him a pat on the back. If
I
we want to
hope
make
your
it,
friend didn't make these croissants. My God.
I figure if we want to do that officially, we would need to still have a second inspector that the person of power can trust to inspect the tavern both before and after the Adorellan Taurus. After Taurus inspects it, that way they can confirm that their fines that were levied against them were not real. So we would still need a second inspector, but we would need one that the person of power trusts, that can vouch that they definitely did not deserve those fines. And then if he does collect the fines, figure out what that money is going to. If it doesn't go to the city, then he's essentially just extorting.
So we'd have to talk to like whoever his boss would be.
Possibly. We also need somebody that doesn't like the guy to do this type of a plan.
Sounds like you need somebody to keep an eye on the guy for a little while and see who he pisses off and, you know, who he's buddy-buddy with.
Yeah, if somebody could figure out who doesn't like him around the office, even a coworker might be enough to make this work out fine.
And Wendell clears his throat. Well, gee, mister, I happen to know a young kid that would be happy to watch him. With a big grin on his face.
Gotta shave your face a little first, eh?
Of course, I always make sure that I look appropriate.
I suppose it shouldn't be too hard of an issue.
Besides, a little bit of dirt on my face and nobody wants to look at me anyhow.
That makes sense, actually. I hardly want to look at you right now. I'm just yanking your chain.
I would argue you don't want to look homeless or anything, though. You still want to be taken seriously at their offices. If you look too poor or homeless, you could almost look like you're trying to extort money yourself. This is a city official still.
Right. But the biggest thing is we need somebody to keep an eye on him and just observe. And who better to observe than homeless kids on the street?
Suppose you wouldn't be able to necessarily get into his office scot-free, but you could observe him in his day-to-day routines fine. And nobody would really bat an eye.
As long as he doesn't go into a room with no windows. Then it becomes a little bit more tricky. You got to get up on the roof. You got to be able to lean over the chimney, hope it's not a cold day and that they've got a fire going. But you would be amazed at the acoustics that you can pick up conversations from listening in through a chimney.
Exactly. I'm sure you could find a way to, even if he goes into a room with no windows. You'll find a way around.
Sure.
I'd say that sounds like a decent starting place for this. Find somebody who's an enemy of his and use them to get him caught for his money, his extortion.
Yeah, I can do some initial observations. You guys want to maybe look into some backgrounds? Maybe talk to the to this Gifford Longtoe and see what his story is. I mean, it could be that rusty shield's just a dump.
For all we know, maybe it deserved all the fines it got, and he's just upset.
Exactly.
Maybe it deserved more fines, and the guy let him off easy. We don't know.
True.
Turns out it should have been double the fines, and the guy just felt bad. He gave him like a light.
He's like, that son of a bitch.
He took all my gold. Like, that guy should be lucky. I could have taken 3 times the money with how many violations I found.
Like, dude, I should have shut the place down, but the 3 patrons were there and they were crying and they were his kids. And so
I lowered it like 3 times.
That'll be
Yeah, I
fun.
suppose that would be a good starting point for us. We can go check out the Rusty Shield itself, ask about the fines that were actually levied, and then see if they look like they were deserved or not.
I could be misremembering, but I think I might have run with a broad that frequented the Rusty Shield. Maybe I'll have to go do a little poking around the graveyard.
yeah, in the
Good
worst
nod.
case scenario, you could just beat the guy up or something.
Whatever it takes. Job's a job. Happy to use the talents that was given to me by God.
What time of day is it? Is it like
Probably
midday?
midday at this point.
I think we make our way over there.
I figure we got plenty of time till he started looking around today.
Yep.
I will get up and begin making my way towards the Rusty Shield.
Okay.
And I will be hopping over to keep on an eye on this guy, which will actually work out perfectly. So I'll basically be able to shadow him for the afternoon shift, and then tomorrow I will start shadowing him on the morning shift and then take off before noon. So he won't be able to pick up on that there's somebody constantly staring at him.
Right. Okay. Let's see. So we'll start with Pyro first. You head over to the Rusty Shield.
Okay.
Definitely not a high-end establishment. Not by any means. Not the worst in town either. Yeah, you step inside and walk up to the bar and grab a seat, and a short man walks over and, oh, what can I get for you?
Just one of your regular ales, please.
Regular, coming right up. Pulls down a mug and sticks under the tap behind him and pours off a glass of ale, slams it down the counter, and walks away.
Excuse me, are you Skifford Longtoe?
Well, that's me. What can I do for you?
I'm actually investigating the those fines that were levied against you. I came to get some more information about that.
Yeah, come with me. It's somewhere we can talk in private.
I'll take
Never know who's listening.
I'll take the ale with me and go back.
So he leads you to a storeroom in the back. Alright, what do you want to know?
I was coming to figure out the exact fines he levied against you, the reasoning for them, and how much they were.
Yeah, he's finding me for all sorts of stuff. Cleanliness, food storage practices. I'm pretty sure I saw him write down something about the carpet being the wrong shade of red. Uh, 200 golden fines. First time done it either.
Oh, is it always the same inspector that comes by for these surprise inspections?
Usually. I've seen another inspector once or twice, but this is the guy that gets me most of the time. Tired of it.
Has anybody else ever levied heavy fines against you, or is it the only guy that levies the very heavy fines is one gentleman?
Others have given me small fines here and there. I won't argue against that, but whenever he shows up, cost goes up. Lot.
And pardon me, I'm not too familiar with the inspections. How frequently does he come by for these inspections?
See, that's the thing. There's no rhyme or reason to when they come. One time it was like 6 months apart. Another time he came twice in a week.
Figured these should be sanctioned by the city itself.
Lucky
Doesn't make
guy.
sense.
Oh, never mind.
That definitely sounds like extortion going on. If it were released on a pattern, it might be hard, but yeah, if there's no rhyme or reason to it. So, when was the last time he was here? Was it just a week ago or
3 days ago.
3 days?
3 days.
And just while I'm talking to him, I'm going to. Where am I? Are we like in a storage room?
Yeah, you're in the back in a storage room.
I'm just kind of looking around. Like, does it look like he has even okay practices, or like, does it look like he at all that warrants 200 gold, or does it look like a little bit for stuff? Because then we mentioned like food storage practices. Does it look that bad, or is it like all right, a little bit of a fine would be what it should be?
Definitely not as clean of a back room as you would like a place that's handling food.
But given where it's at, does it seem like egregious?
Hard to say. I mean, you're not exactly expert at inspection, food safety.
Okay.
It did seem like it could be a little bit high, but maybe not.
And I have one more question for you. Do you happen to have the names of anybody else who has inspected your establishment recently? Any other inspectors that might have done a more routine inspection?
Oh, what was his name? That one is a goblin that came through that one time. I haven't seen him in a while. I think he got reassigned. Oh. I don't know, my memory's a little bit fuzzy. Maybe you could jog it?
I'll cough and a gold will pop out of my pocket onto the floor. Oh goodness, where did this come from? Did you drop it by chance?
Oh, I must have.
By the way, that name, do you remember it?
Yeah, it's coming back to me now. Tribris.
How do you spell that?
Tribras.
Oh, wait. Okay. Alright, okay.
Yeah, he inspected me once or twice over the past year or so, and haven't seen him since. I think he got reassigned somewhere else.
That dude is totally a meme. His name is literally Tribras. Come on.
And I'm guessing his fines seem much more fair for where you were at, and for what he did.
Yeah, they were much more reasonable. Instead of hundreds of gold pieces, I might pay a couple of gold.
Okay, that's good to know. That gives me a point of reference for somebody else who's inspected the shop.
Yeah.
All right, I think that should be enough for me to work with my colleagues to figure out what's going on and take care of the problem.
Good. Need it taken care of soon. I can't afford to keep doing this.
I imagine not. It's definitely going to cut into the profits. You have a good day, Skifford. Give him a little bow and depart. And I'll just put my glass on a table with some people as I leave. And I don't think I ever drank it. I just held it in my hand to look polite. At least that's some good information that I'll relay to the group whenever we reconvene in like a day or something like that, or the end of the night.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so we jump over to Wendell. Remind me, what exactly was it that you were...
I am going to be assembling a couple of the orphan kids to basically hang out with me so that I can kind of blend in with them. And then literally I'm going to be staking out this guy's place this place or wherever he happens to be at. I'm going to be trying to track him down and shadow him for the rest of the day.
Okay.
And possibly a little bit into the evening, depending on what I see. But not too late, because I want to be able to rotate out and do it all again in the morning.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, it's easy enough to track down some orphans to work with you. Give me an investigation check to track down the whereabouts of the inspector.
Ugh. Wow. Miracles happen.
So, yeah, it takes you a little bit of time to do so, but you do manage to track down his whereabouts and where he's going this afternoon.
Okay.
He just seems to be going about to various taverns, shops, even some apartment buildings, and just stops in for half hour or so at a time on average.
Yeah, and basically shadowing him. If I can try to get an ear to hearing any of the conversations, to hear if there's anything out of the ordinary, or if it just sounds like he's just doing some routine checks, that kind of thing.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Really? We all saw that was in that 20.
He's not real loud in his talking, so it's hard to make out much without getting real close. At one point, you do hear him say something that you, after much straining and effort to figure out what the actual words were that he said, you think it comes out to be something to the effect of and there went my train of thought there. Where was I going with that?
I have that happen all the time. Hear the chopper in the background.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So what you do think you hear him saying at one point is, these fines are for your own benefit. Well, we hope you do better next time. And maybe next time it won't be quite so bad. Says with an awkward look at the person he's working with before walking away.
Okay. Because I know Wendell is not the brightest bulb in the box, he's going to take like a stone or something nearby and put a mark on this shop so that he can note which shop this was. He's also going to take a look at the name of it, but should he forget, he's going to mark it because it definitely seems to be a place for Hero to go talk.
Yeah. So it's just a simple general goods store in this case. Let's see. It goes by the name Odger's Great Goods.
Audrey's?
Not quite. Yeah, type it out. Odger's.
Odgers, okay.
Yeah. So you guys meet up later that evening, unless was there anything that Samuel wanted to do?
Just go hit up some of his feminine cohorts to see if the ones that he thought hung around the Rusty Shield at night actually did, and if they did, what they knew about the owner, and perhaps like dealings he has that maybe would leave him open for extortion and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so one of your contacts actually does frequent the Rusty Field.
Okay.
So she doesn't interact with the owner very much, but he does seem sort of a shady individual. Dishonest.
Okay. Potentially criminally dishonest, or more just like someone who's trying to cop a coin off of people not paying attention?
Hard to say, could be both.
Okay. Good to know. I'll make a note of that. Actually, out of curiosity, on the job page, are we allowed to edit player notes? Just out of
Yes, that is
curiosity.
exactly what that is there for.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. You should put in Odger's Great Goods.
Will do.
Or, depending on how bad Wendell misremembers, it could be Codger's Great Goods.
Rogers rate good goods.
Codger's Grape Goods. Yeah, he sold fruit, I think.
Grape goose. It's jam.
Alright, so you have information in hand. I'll meet back up that evening back at your hideout to discuss plans, what have you.
Yeah, and I wouldn't eat that croissant. I'm not sure how long it's been there.
I think I might have left that one there last time we were in here. I could be wrong. They all look the same to me.
I think that's actually the one you tried to eat. It may be petrified.
Yep. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, it's because I've had a few brew, so we'll see.
So, I followed him around a bit today, and apparently he did an inspection with a Hodgers rated goods, something like that.
Hmm.
I put a mark in there on the shop so that we should be able to spot it, and we'll describe the marking to Hero so that he can go investigate it tomorrow. It sounded to me like he was giving them a bad inspection for their own good.
How does that seem quite correct? Forgive my bluntness. For their own good, they failed.
Yeah. And, I was thinking about something else. Maybe we take a look at this from a different angle.
What's that?
How many people does this guy piss off?
Hmm. That is a good question.
I could maybe smell a bigger payday out of this.
Based on what I found out the Rusty Shield and what you guys are saying, he's probably made quite a lot of enemies with some people that are not opposed to getting their hands dirty.
Exactly my point.
I could corroborate that. Don't know much about him yet, but from what I've heard, it seems that he's not exactly the most forthright individual when it comes to addressing such circumstance.
And maybe with somebody who happens to have a decent amount of diplomacy on how to handle these kinds of irate people, that maybe you could make a suggestion to them, Hero, that for a small monetary fee we could help make their troubles go away.
I suppose I could go talk to some of these places. I could start with Oger's Grape Goods.
Yeah, I think it was Codger's greatest hits or something. I'm not sure.
I guess we'll just have
Definitely
to help.
Codger in there.
Roger, it is.
Codger's Goods. I can go talk with
Maybe.
them tomorrow and see if they're interested in getting rid of their little tax problem.
I mean, if there's a big enough demand, maybe we just make him leave town forever.
Maybe he'll find his way into the bottom of the lake with cement overshoes.
Wendell glances over at Fluffy. We could, have him over for dessert.
Mm-hmm.
As long as there's no croissants involved, I'm fine with whatever we have him over for.
That's the only thing I know how to bake. I'm sorry, Samuel.
That's alright. I'm not going to hold it against you. I'll slap you on the back. You care to have a proverbial cudgel with you tomorrow when you go to speak, or would you rather be, well, mysterious type?
I wouldn't mind the accompaniment, but if you're busy, then it wouldn't bother me. Having some extra power might make us look like we know what we're doing, but one person makes it look more secretive.
Indeed. Well, I can always wait across the street if you prefer, but consider me present for the journey.
I'll give you a little nod.
Well, I'm gonna hit the The pillow. I got to get up really early. I want to see when this guy gets up and what he does.
I'll
Seems
give
like
you a little
good idea
wave.
to me.
Alright, so Wendell heads off to bed.
And I will be like, "Good night, Fluffy." Yep, still the
Can I
same.
flip back?
It's like, yep, that was the reaction I expected. Wendell has yet to befriend Fluffy, so it is now becoming this running joke. He has to do an animal handling every time he interacts with Fluffy.
All right,
And
nice.
he typically fails, so Fluffy tries to snap at his fingers, and Wendell thankfully keeps all 10 digits.
Till you hit that nat 1, huh?
Right.
All right.
This is the way.
Nice.
You want to hear the tale of how I got down to these 7 fingers?
Alright, so Wendell's off to bed. The rest of you have anything else that you're discussing, or are we just fast forward?
I don't think I've got anything else I need to discuss.
Okay.
I figure I will meander the bar and just kind of push my way into everybody else's conversations and try to figure out if anybody like knows anything about this guy, the either the shop owner or the inspector.
It doesn't seem like any of them have interacted with either of them personally.
Gotcha.
Or potentially just don't want to interact with you.
Also a possibility.
Yep, certainly plausible. Well, then after that and a few more drinks, I will hit the sack as well. For a bit of player knowledge here, this particular area that we're in is a hideout of sorts, from what I've gathered, that requires a specific like entrance. Yes.
We're basically in a pocket dimension.
Yeah, that's what I picked up earlier. Is it a physical object that I carry on me that gets me in here, or something else?
No, there's rooms spread throughout the city that have the necessary supplies to
Okay.
teleport.
Yeah, you have to look for platform 9 3/4. So.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, so next morning comes. Wendell heads out for his early morning reconnaissance.
Cue the Mission Impossible music.
And what are the rest of you doing? Heading over to Rogers first thing, or do you have something else to do?
I gotta eat breakfast first. Can't go on an empty stomach.
Lucky for you, they've got last night's leftovers on the table.
Food is food. It's breakfast. It's just like real life. You wake up, you grab a slice of pizza out of the fridge.
Right?
Depending on how
Oh,
closely you look, they may have not even busted tables since you last got up.
Oh, good. I don't have to worry about feeling bad anyway. Clears my conscience of feeling like if I was ever a slob.
And see, now we really do have the Mission Impossible as he comes slipping in and going through the last night's meals.
Wow, my
Ooh,
ass
hey.
cheeks even fit in the chair where I sat last night.
Nobody ate this slice of pie.
I'm glad I saved it till morning because I was in the wide open the whole time. Yeah, I'm not like rushing over there first thing in the morning. I'm gonna head over there, but it's like I'll wait till like, late morning ish.
Mm-hmm.
Head over there before like an afternoon rush would hit.
Right.
But after like the people that all rush there in the morning to get what they need at a shop.
Yeah, so not right there when they
meanwhile,
open, but
Wendell's already over there. doing the thing with this guy, trying to figure him out.
Yeah, so you're following
When,
the inspector once again.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll have like where he lives, or I'll have to wait around his office. I don't know how late I followed him last night.
Let's say you followed. Let's say you actually did find out where he lives. He went straight home after his last appointment for the day.
Okay. So, yeah, I will basically be attempting to follow him from a distance from when he gets up to where he goes, everything.
Okay. So you do just that, and he gets up a reasonable hour. Sun's definitely been up for a while by this point, and makes his way through town to what seems like perhaps his office location. Where he goes inside for about so.
Okay. Definitely want to try to keep an eye on him to see if maybe he has a strong box where he keeps funds, and see if like maybe funds get dipped out of there into his pocket, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Looking for basically anything kind of shifty.
Yeah, so as he starts going around to his various appointments for this day, give me a perception check. You actually do notice a strong box on him that he seems to use to collect payments for the fines that he levies. He doesn't seem to actually open it though. Seems to have a slot in the top that he asks those that he fines to drop their coins into.
I'm sure that makes it look more legit. Definitely going to be keeping a close eye on that. And may just have to push through till evening to see what he does with it afterwards.
Okay.
Because as a thief, I know full well that it can look like a lockbox, and you can pick it up from the other side and the lid just opens. Or have a trap bottom door where he can just flip it open and have all the coins pour out from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust if this guy's legit at all.
Okay. So if you're gonna keep following him, give me a stealth check as well, so that you try and avoid notice.
Okay. Will I have any advantage with utilizing the whole being with a group of kids kind of thing?
I'll say it doesn't give you advantage, but it'll give you a +5 to your roll. Very nice roll.
Oh.
Where the fuck did he go? I don't even know where he's at. I'm not even there. Did he exist? He stealthed out of my mind.
Turns out the inspector's a false Hydra.
What a twist.
So yeah, you say pretty well out of sight throughout the day. Give me another perception check to keep an eye on what he's.
Okay. Again, it's leaning against the wall there. That was a 19.
As you
Just
go
throw it
about
out there.
watching him throughout the day, you notice, you just keep an eye on him. he takes various size fines from different people. Some people seem to get away without any sort of fine. Some people get various size fines. Um,
Mm.
Most of them just seem to be a handful of coins. Some seem like they
Okay.
might just be in silver, even.
Any of them that seem like they are fairly outstanding, I'm just gonna do the same kind of little mark.
Yeah. Um.
And we'll attempt to try to remember the names.
Nothing seems to be to quite the same scale that Rusty Shield is. Most you can see by your estimates, the range of 50 to 20 gold pieces.
Okay. So nothing that I can pass over to Hero to do more research into yet.
Yeah, nothing's particularly abnormal.
But this also does give me a good opportunity to see what he's doing with like what appears to be the legitimate king's money.
Yeah, so as far as you can tell, he never opens it during the day. Once he's done collecting any given fines, it goes back into a bag and there, and that just repeats until he ends up going home again at the end of the day.
And of course, I can't tell what he does after he gets home with it.
Right, not unless you're snooping around inside while he's there.
Tempting, but I don't think we're at that point yet.
Alright, so at this point we'll rewind in time slightly to Hyro and Samuel. As you head over to Odger's Great Goods.
Okay.
Wait, I thought it was Godger's bait shop.
Thought it was Copper's grape shop.
Yeah, what the hell? What the hell's going on here?
Maybe this guy needs to be fucking fine out of his mind. Can't make up his mind what he wants to fucking sell. Maybe I'll become an inspector.
Well, regardless of the name or what they sell, the location does match Wendell's description, and you do see the mark that he left on the stone nearby.
Alright, I will head inside.
Okay. As you do so, there's a halfling behind the counter finishing a transaction with someone buying some bread.
I kind of wait for that transaction to finish, then I'll go approach the halfling.
Okay. And he,
Samuel stays outside.
okay. So he sees the other shopper out, and so, Arden, what can I do for you?
Good morning. I'm actually here investigating the city inspector Taurus. I believe he did an inspection of your shop recently.
Oh, you got that right.
I'm here to do a follow-up about what he found, how much he costs, and how much other inspectors tend to cost for those same fines.
Oh, yes. Well, I've got the write up of everything right here that he gave me. You can just take a look at that if you want.
Oh, fantastic. I'll take a look at it. So what am I seeing here?
Um. You see some notes there about how some of his fresh goods, bread and fruits, should be covered to keep flies off of it, and there's a small fine, a couple silver for some of those, and um, and there's one on there about how the front door sticks a little bit and could be dangerous in the event of a fire. So there's no fine attached to that one, but fix this by the next time we come back, or there will be a fine sort of note there.
Okay. So what's the total add up to on the bottom anyway?
Altogether, over about a dozen fines and warnings, it comes out to 3 gold and 7 silver.
This does not seem that bad, honestly.
Oh, no. Very reasonable. Lovely fellow.
Now tell me, how frequently does he come by? Does he have like a regular basis he does his inspections?
It's not super regular. I've only seen him a couple times since I've been in business here.
Could I, if you don't mind, when did you open shop, just so I have a reference for how many times he might have visited you in that time frame?
Oh, I think it's slightly over a year. I opened at the beginning of last summer.
So maybe like every 6 months, roughly.
Yeah, you could say that.
That seems reasonable, honestly. Have you ever had any other inspectors come and visit it, or is it always him that comes in?
So it's a Goliath inspector that came through once. It's the only ever one I've seen.
Did his inspection end up being about the same? Maybe not exact, but similar.
That was about the same.
Okay.
A couple gold pieces and some suggestions. There's some things to be improved, which I have taken care of, mind you. Taken care of all of them rather quickly.
That's good to hear. I believe that's all that I really needed to ask. I appreciate your time, and
Of course.
I'll put a gold on the desk.
Oh, so a refund, huh? For filling out your survey. Lovely.
I'm just gonna walk away like a little bit of a blank stare, just start walking out the door.
Hashtag smooth, my man.
This is why I always fill out the survey. You never know where you're gonna win that $500 gift card or that 1 gold back.
Classic rebate.
Yeah.
I'll come on out to Simiel and I'll kind of give a hand signal to start walking down the road so we don't talk right outside.
Yeah,
I'll let you know.
Kind of like adjust something on my belt, take a look at my fingernails, and then take off walking after him slowly.
I'm gonna tell you, like, so it didn't seem like Taurus really gave this guy a bad fine. He gave him a very reasonable fine. So it would be best to actually check out if any other places received heavy fines or if it's just the Rusty Shield. If it's just the Rusty Shield, then perhaps that guy might be doing something fishy. I might not be too inclined to go very hard on Taurus.
Yeah, I can understand that. Actually, it makes quite a bit of sense. I think that there's high probability that well, there's a trend. It would be quite useful to figure out what that trend is, I think.
Yes. That being said, a job is still a job, and I do indeed plan to get paid for this this mission.
I was about to ask if the intent now was to be well, extorters ourselves, or if we were still planning on finishing the job, but at least I know where you stand.
Yeah, I've still got the mission. I'd like to keep in good standing with our employer still.
Agreed.
So that being said, if it turns out this guy is only targeting one place, and it seems like our the patron of this posting might be a little bit scuzzy, I might not be inclined to go as hard on Taurus, but I'll still do enough in order to appease him to get paid.
I like those odds.
That being said,
Up, right?
That being said, we'll see what Wendell finds on his adventures and see if any other places seem to be getting hit as hard, or if it really is just the rusty shield.
Right.
Because if it's just the rusty shield, I'm more inclined to check out that place over investigate the inspector. Perhaps they just have bad blood or something, for all we know.
I was about to say, it could be bad blood, could be a deal went wrong, or it could just be the fact that the inspector learns a lot of things, I'm sure, when they're inspecting. A lot of talk going on around the shops and all that, so maybe there's something worth paying attention to. Maybe
Perhaps,
something that we could ask the inspector about himself someday.
Yeah, perhaps he has a very specific reason for finding it so much. If it does end up being the only place, then that would be very odd of him to do.
Agreed.
Because as it stands, it seems like most inspectors only cost a handful of gold per inspection for fines and whatnot. But the Rusty Shield, he said he was fined over 200 gold pretty consistently. He's getting quite a hefty fine.
Alright. Quite hefty.
Something's not adding up here. There's something we don't know yet about this.
Right.
Taurus isn't extorting everybody, then there's got to be a rhyme or reason to who he extorts and why.
You would think so, but I suppose if it is personal, finding a rhyme or reason would be, well, it'd be a hard shot unless we're talking to the man himself or happen to stumble upon his journal.
True. And I will say, if I pull out our posting here, I pull it out, we only need to get him arrested for a crime that he's implicated for. We could make it a very minor crime if we need to in order to, if he seems to be reasonable, we can keep it minor, so that way the impact on his life is very low. He doesn't need to actually serve any hard jail time on it. He just needs to be implicated for a crime then is arrested.
Right.
So
you've talked to the two people so far that have been ripped off by him, right?
Not the second person that's been ripped off. I've talked to Odger, which was not ripped off, and the Rusty Shield guy, which was ripped off.
Oh.
Odger was not ripped off at all. He was very reasonably fined. It was only a few gold, which the Rusty Shield guy said, Try Bras, he only did a few gold too, so yeah. Something very specific is going on. Either the inspector is doing it to very specific people, or perhaps even just the Rusty Shield particularly. It's not everybody he goes to, he's just finding out of their minds. And also, this guy, he only did twice in a year, so it's a very consistent inspection versus randomly being inspected. So there's something afoot.
Definitely sounds like we need to follow him and see what his pattern and routine is, and then find out what doesn't match.
Yeah, there's something's not adding up still. I don't know if it's on his side or on the Rusty Shield side, but something isn't adding up. It's either he's got a possibly deserved target on the Rusty Shield's back, or I don't know, maybe he's just not doing it to that many places, or he's doing it to places that don't usually have ways to fight back. Perhaps Odger is decent enough that he's like, oh, if I find them, it would be too noticeable.
Could be.
If he only finds, we need to find a place that's maybe also relatively dirty, because the Rusty Shield wasn't the cleanest place. If we go somewhere else that's a little bit more run down, we might be able to find something else too. We need a place of similar status to evaluate it. So I'd say whenever you're tailing him, keep an eye out for that. If he goes to any other rather sketchy-looking bars or taverns. If they get fined very lightly, then that basically concludes that it's personal versus just he's very stingent on his safety protocols. I think that's the next step, is just checking out places of similar status. If it's only light fines for that, then the odds are it's personal.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright, so I had a terrible roll, but I'm just wondering off of, I guess, history or knowledge, a general knowledge of the region, if there is like a specific kind of like trafficking hierarchy here, or like if we
if
would know if these places traffic in something specific in this particular neck of the woods or anything like that?
Semi starts talking about that at all, Wendell will definitely start filling in gaps.
Oh, I'll definitely be musing. Yeah.
Because Wendell is intimately familiar with the city and the comings and goings. If you take steps 10 feet outside of the city, he's really not sure what's happening anymore. But inside the city, he knows his stuff.
Which city is this that we're in right now?
It's the city that we're in.
You guys are in Al Inori.
Alinori. Okay, good,
Yeah.
cool. Gotcha. All right.
Big old city, about 500,000 people in it.
Okay. Nice. Well, in that case, I would definitely be curious as to what you know about the expertise of this town.
Specifically about what?
If this if the Rusty Shield were to be shaken down by a city official or potentially criminal acts, what do you think that well, that particular establishment might be dealing in? You have any idea? People, substances, contraband of any kind, weapons?
Well, let's see here. GM, you said that Wendell hadn't really gone in there before.
Mm-hmm.
Is there possibly a reason as to why? Like maybe he heard something and wanted to avoid it? Or has he perhaps heard any rumors about the place?
Make your own history. If there's anything lurking.
Not exactly sure what just happened with that die. That one was demonically possessed.
Looked pretty normal on my end. What was it doing for you?
It literally started to roll and then went slam and stopped right on 14. Like,
Call it lag.
like Zol says you will have a 14 now. Okay. Thank you, Zol. I appreciate that. Please do not eat me.
You've definitely heard rumors of it. Nothing that you've confirmed personally. You have heard rumors of smuggling out of there, but you're not sure if that's just the patrons, no, people that visit that establishment, or if it's the establishment itself that is facilitating.
Okay. So yeah, Wendell, think about it for a second and try to stroke his now non-existent sideburns. You know, come to think of it, I have heard smuggling and that particular establishment mentioned in the same sentence, but I'm not sure if it was a place that people went to do this or if the place itself was doing smuggling. However, I happen to be in a unique position that I would be able to go in there and talk to them about it. I can just ask the bartender directly, or the shop owner.
Right. It might be beneficial. No one's said anything to him yet that would give him the indication we're on the job, would they? I'll look at the two of you like, has anyone given themselves away?
To which guy?
The shop owner?
Well, Hero
Rusty
spoke with him directly that he was doing an investigation.
Right.
So I can't go inside.
Right.
Yeah, let's say if that's what you're talking about, Hiro is definitely like yeah, I'm working your job for you. What can I do for you?
Samuel's
So
like,
I
"Look,
should
I'm
not be here if that's gonna happen. I need to be
I'm
away.
not much of one with a silver tongue, so either Wendell goes in by himself, or at least I'm not gonna do much speaking. What would you guys think is the best plan of action? And maybe we're getting too sidetracked. I suppose this isn't exactly the job we were hired to do. I just figure information's the best thing to gather if we can.
Well, no, I mean, information is definitely the most important thing for us to gather right now, so that we know that we're doing something correctly and for the right reasons. I mean, otherwise, we should just go wandering around and slitting everyone's throat that somebody hires us to do. I don't know
Right.
about you, but I'm not that morally ambiguous.
Agreed. Me neither.
But as it stands, I've got a smuggling contact, but I could always use another one.
Make a good point.
So I can reach out to my smuggling contact, and if he knows anything about this bar, that'll give us some information without me even having to talk to the owner. But if he doesn't, I can go in there and talk to him and find out if he just has a safe area for smugglers to be able to do their business, or if he himself happens to be in the business of moving goods.
Right. Yeah, let's maybe start there. I think that's a good idea.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, it'll give me a little bit of a change of pace from following around Smelly all day.
Huh.
Maybe you guys could follow him around for a bit.
Suppose I've got nothing better to do while you go meet with your contact.
It might be beneficial to have a fresh pair of eyes on him.
We're all
And
good
if you
to
see
go.
him do anything underhanded, you could send in Semi here right behind him to get the information while you're continuing to trail him.
Seems like
That
a
way
good
you guys
idea,
could
man.
kind of tag team stuff.
Sounds good to me.
Although I would recommend having him kind of like just hang out somewhere by like another vendor somewhere. I don't think he can hide.
Yeah, Anna, it's been quite a while since I played hide and seek for real. Probably best idea. There's nowhere for me to pretend like I'm buying a drink, and yeah, I'll just wait around the corner.
Yeah, hey, I mean, it's not your fault, buddy. You're built pretty well. You're a big guy. Not easy to hide when you're that big.
Well, that may be true. I've seen a few, well, rather sizable geezers be pretty sneaky, but that's not what I was blessed with this time around, so.
All right.
Honestly, though, being sneaky is overrated. And from across the room, Wendell will say, "Good night, guys."
Good night.
Good night, ominous voice.
Whoa! But like Semi's like right behind him, like caressing his shoulder.
Whispering.
Good night,
Good night.
Wendell.
Good night, Wendell. Sleep tight.
I'm always one step ahead of you, Wendell. No, it's like you say goodnight, he's already like up the fucking stairs. Good night.
Always watching, Wazowski. Always watching.
Oh my god.
This orc is going to give me nightmares. This is fantastic.
Alright.
Okay, so Wendell does not get a great night's sleep.
No.
keeps dreaming about this huge orc going, but I want to be the big spoon.
Yeah. From the
This is-
corner of the room, like as a silhouette.
And it's
Mhm.
just his cloak hanging over a chair.
Right.
Or is it?
All right, then Hero and I will put a plan together for going out and tailing this guy, and we'll execute that.
Yeah, I'll probably just focus on like, being around corners, watching him.
Mhm.
Trying to like stealth with the crowd because I'm not gonna try and walk in the alleys, but I'm gonna try and be like inconspicuously following him, keeping a few blocks behind him.
Okay. Hey, give me a stealth check as you're going about this.
Hell yeah.
Pretty good. As far as you can tell, you're completely undetected by him. And also, go ahead and give me a perception check as well to see how well you can actually see what's going on. Well, it's good, but that's still pretty decent. As you're following him about, it seems very similar to what Wendell saw when he was doing so. Very ordinary day. Some people don't get any fines. Some people get, small fines. One person even has to spend like a minute counting out coins for fines.
Does that mean it was a big fine or he was just paying in a lot of small coins?
Couldn't tell for sure. Distance you're at.
Or he was pausing to give him the middle finger with each coin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep tabs on that store.
Yeah, from the distance you're at, it's hard to tell whether or not that was copper or gold that was going in.
Did the place look pretty raggedy?
A little bit run down. Not terrible. But no rest for the inspector. He continues about his job. Continues from one place to the next.
Guess I gotta keep on the move too.
Samuel is tailing behind.
I think it's just you two at the moment.
Yes, Wendell is not doing his thing until probably midday.
So Samuel and Hero are together following this guy then?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
And that goes on for quite a while. At one point, he does enter into a building that doesn't have windows on it, and you lose sight of him a little bit. He does come out of there. He takes a look around. Both directions. Give me another stealth check if you're still watching at this point.
Oh, thank God.
Should I be
Teeter.
Yeah, give me a
It
stealth check
teetered
too
on
if
that
you're
one.
poking your head
Teetered
out
on
from
that.
corners.
Oh, that was scary.
Uh-oh.
You have non-shitty stealth.
Yeah, it ain't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
Roll
drinking.
wasn't great, but yeah, right. I should get a stealth buff when I drink.
Alright, so yeah, the inspector looks around for a moment and looks before stepping back into the streets and heading on his way. Seems a little bit faster than usual this time as he is making his way home early today.
I'm gonna check out the after he goes home. I'm gonna go back to that last building that he went to.
Oh, you should let Semi do that. That way you can keep an eye on his ass and see if he like pulls out a huge wadded chunk of change. And like pockets that shit, yo.
I mean,
As we're walking, I'll ask, you want me to go back? I can go back to the building, take a look around if you want to stay on him.
I'll give you a nod as I walk.
Right.
Just like a yeah nod.
I'll pull off and start heading back the way we came.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll just continue tailing him to his house. Presumably nothing will happen, but I'll do that
And
just in case.
doesn't seem like anything does happen. You do arrive at the house, and he quickly goes inside, closing the door behind him.
I'm gonna try to like listen for anything you might say, but I don't know how well I could hear from where I'm at.
Are you like up against a house trying to listen through the door, or are you still at a distance?
I'm like up at the house, not like putting my ear against something, but kind of like doing a lap around the house slowly.
Okay.
Just kind of listening to see if I hear him talking.
Yeah, I mean, gotta check for those open windows and stuff.
Yeah, give me that perception check.
Hey, it's another one where teetered on the one.
No, you're not able to make anything out, unfortunately. Got a lot of noise coming from the streets nearby, and if he is saying anything or doing anything in there, it's quite enough that it's getting drowned by other noises.
Damn. And then I'll just I'll kind of wait like 20 minutes to make sure. I'll probably wait like an hour or so, and then if Samuel hasn't come back yet, then I'll start heading back to to that one building that he's going to.
Okay. I'll jump back over to Samuel. You return to that building and you get a better look at it now. There's no signage of any kind on it. It's a unlabeled, unmarked building with no windows in it. Rather odd.
It is a little odd. So I'm just gonna go fucking try the door that he left out of.
Okay.
See if it's unlocked.
You go up, give it a quick turn. It does appear to be locked.
I'm gonna throw my shoulder into it.
Okay. With a thud, you do break it open.
Whoops.
Whoops! And I appear to be rather dazed by the fact that it actually came open.
Yeah, you definitely weren't expecting that. You've got the door broken open there. You're just kind of looking around. That worked. First time in a while that's worked.
Are there people in here?
You don't see any people. There seems to be a small storeroom with some stairways that lead down.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and like close the door most of the way as much as it will. People don't see an open door and come meandering.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick peek down the stairs, I suppose.
Alright, yeah, you take a peek down the stairs. The door is mostly in place, but it's not sitting quite right anymore. But you look down the stairs, it's rather dark down there. Let's see. You have dark vision? I think you do.
Yeah, as a
Yeah.
half orc, yeah.
Yeah, you do. Okay, yeah, so you look down there, and the building seems to, or like, it seems to level off a ways down into a tunnel that leads off into the distance.
Hmm. The amount of time that he was in this building, would he have been able to? Like, how long was he in here? I guess is if I remember.
It was probably 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. Um. So I haven't seen or heard anybody yet. I'm gonna go ahead and head down the stairs a little ways, down to the bottom to see if I can see anything down the tunnel.
Okay. Uh, you step down. A small tunnel, not real large, about 5 feet tall and 3 feet across, just big enough for you to kind of crouch down in it. And you look off, and it extends into darkness beyond the range of what you can see.
Well, that's interesting. And that's so from the first floor, you said the first floor looks like some kind of a storeroom, and then
Yeah.
down here, it's a tunnel that goes off, huh?
Correct.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head back upstairs, assuming that Hero is on his way back. If he hasn't found him, I'm assuming he'll come back. If he is finding anything interesting over there, I have to go investigate where he went to. Then maybe I won't see him for a while. But while I bide my time to make the decision, I'm gonna head back upstairs and investigate the storeroom a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so you look around, you see, there seem to be various barrels filled with liquids, and none of them particularly labeled. The smell of ale off of a couple of them, but the others I don't recognize.
Hmm. You said they're filled with ale, huh?
That I did.
Might take a little pit stop. Let's see. Hold on. Actually, yeah. To gauge myself, see how I'm feeling. Yeah, I could use a drink. Yep. To go ahead and just wedge a little blade edge into one of the side of one of the barrels and catch a little drink here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you wedge it open just enough to let some ale out. It makes a little bit of mess on the floor, but yeah, nothing that won't dry up over on its own. And
Perfect.
give yourself a nice little drink. And about this time, Hyro's coming back unless you're doing something else over at the inspector's house. Hyro?
Sorry, what?
I said about this time is when you're heading back over to where Simuel is, unless there's something else that you're doing at the inspector's house.
No, I was just kind of staking out for an hour and then heading back. If nothing,
Yeah.
if like nobody else is coming in or anything.
Yeah, so about the time that Simuel's finishing up his drink is the time that you get back to that building.
Is he drinking out in the streets or is he inside?
I had assumed inside.
Yeah, I'm inside. I just wedged a hole open in one of the ale barrels in this storehouse, and I'm just drinking out of that after breaking the door in. So
I guess I'll see the broken door and I'll kind of try and stealth up and go in inconspicuously.
Okay, yeah, you go inside and see Samuel sitting there on top of a barrel, drinking probably not his first mug of ale at this point.
Did you get your fill?
I was wondering when you'd show up. You care for a pint?
I'm fine.
Right. Well, I'm not entirely sure what this place is. It's just everything up here seems somewhat standard. Just general supplies, a storehouse. But down these stairs over here, I'll gesture to the stairs. There's a tunnel at the bottom of them stairs. Goes off for quite a ways. Not entirely sure what it is, but it could very well be some kind of a smuggling lane. But didn't bother to go too far down it. Just figured might as well catch a break.
Didn't Wendell say something about a smuggling ring possibly taking place in the Rusty Shield?
I believe we discussed the fact that it could be a possibility, yeah.
It makes me wonder a couple ideas. I wonder if he's quite literally just taxing him all the gold so that way he gets a little bit extra money to pay for the smuggling operations, or if perhaps he tried to get in on it and the shop owner denied him.
Yeah, it could be. I was kind of wondering the same. Maybe the shop owner is trying to make a move, some kind of play for, well, more power in the ring. If he can hedge his bets, pay a little less on the overhead, maybe it'll turn out better for him. But I suppose the only way to find out is to perhaps head down the way, see if we can figure out where this connects at. But that might be too pragmatic of an investigation versus figuring out motive. Oh no, it's up to you. I'm happy with doing a little crawling around the tunnels, but see where we pop out, maybe, huh?
The only thing I'm concerned about is if it pops us out in a place that's completely unrelated. That gets us away from where our investigation matters. We're not here to investigate the ring. We're here to deal with just Taurus and the owner.
That's true. I'm just wondering if the owner is trying to make a new hierarchy in whatever this ring is. Suppose we probably won't find that regardless of where we pop out, but figured it was worth a shot. We at least know it's here, but given the door is broken, I'm not much of a carpenter. I reckon they'll probably be able to tell that someone's onto their tail.
I'm not much of one handy myself. The most I could do would be to fake the door looking good whenever he comes by next. But as soon as he tries to open it, it would be clear that it's just it's a fake. It's an illusion.
Damn it,
Right.
it's killing me that I'm not there.
Right, maybe we should go tell Wendell about all this and see what he's got to say.
Maybe Wendell's got an idea.
The only idea I've got right now is to go head on down the tunnel and see what's down the path, but you're right, it might cause more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, I'm not being paid to break a smuggling ring. I'm here to get Taurus arrested. It's just for how long and for what crime should he be framed for?
And if we're gonna end up on Taurus's bad side, and if he's the leader of a smuggling gang, that's quite a few people that would be on the hunt for our heads. But we're probably thinking too far about it. Let's just get the man arrested and we'll go from there.
Yes, let's go regroup with Wendell, see what he says.
Agreed.
Okay, so you two slip out of there and put the door back in place as best you can. It definitely does not look like it did before, but what are you going to do about it?
Right.
So we will jump over to Wendell, as I believe you're going to talk to the owner of the Rusty Shield.
My smuggler friend first.
Oh, that's right, yes.
And so yeah, I was planning on getting over to his place before midday, but late in the morning because smugglers.
Mm-hmm.
They work the night shift usually. And if it appears like he's still asleep or whatever, I'm going to let myself in.
Yeah, he is still asleep at this point. Yeah, you let yourself in and he wakes up. Oh, what are you doing here?
Yeah, if he has like any fruit or anything over in the little kitchen area, I'll be munching on a piece.
No,
Oh, hey.
no fruit, just some day-old bread at this point.
Okay. You need to get some more bread. This stuff's starting to get a little stale.
Yeah, no. Been busy.
Well, busy's good, especially in our line of work. Hey, speaking of which, have you heard, I'm trying to find out some information on a bar called the Rusty Shield.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, refresh my memory. I can't remember if it's a safe place for smugglers to do business, or if the place does smuggling as a side thing.
To my knowledge, they've never smuggled directly, but I don't know. Things can change.
Well, yeah. But I mean, I figured if anybody would know about new competition in the area, it'd be you.
They do try and keep up on it, and like I said, to my knowledge, they don't, but and they could be running a tight ship over there for all I know. Not perfect by any means.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short. You're a perfect friend, that's for certain.
Well, appreciate it.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go over there and talk to him then. See if maybe he has a secure room for smugglers to use or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
be my guest.
You don't happen to have anything that you need moved in the next few days, do you?
Nothing at the moment, but keep you in mind if I do.
Okay. Well, have yourself a good one, bud. It's good seeing you.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Wendell will climb back out through the window that he let himself in.
Alright, so you've let yourself back out.
And yeah, now I will go over and talk to the owner.
Okay, yeah, so you go into the Rusty Shield, and he seems to be tending the bar once again.
Yeah. Wendell will take the seat furthest away from anyone else at the bar and just wait for him to come over to him.
Okay. Initially, he doesn't even come over. He just kind of shouts down there, "Hey, what do you want?"
And Wendell will just pull out a gold piece and kind of let it spin a little bit on the counter and say, "Oh, something strong, perhaps, and a moment of your time if you happen to be free."
He looks around at the fairly busy room at the moment. I suppose I got a moment. Brings over a glass of spirits and sets it down in front of you. So what is it that I can do for you?
Okay. Well, Wendell will take a sip, eyes almost watering from a drink much stronger than what he is used to. So, excuse me. Um, uh, so allow me to make introductions. My name's Wendell.
Hi, Wendell.
You are?
Yes.
I think we have his name there.
Yeah,
in the
Skifford.
player notes.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Skifford.
Oh, Skipper, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Some of my friends called me Padfoot. Don't know if you are familiar with me.
Nope, I've never seen you before. Should I be familiar with you?
You know, some people say I have one of those faces. But, actually, I was wondering, I have a business proposition that's going to be occurring here in a few nights. And basically, he's going to use as much thieves' cant as he can and still make this make sense. And so I'm looking for a secure place to do business. Where, and this would be where the thieves' cant comes in, a transaction can occur.
He responds back, what kind of business that you need security for?
I have some things of value that need to go from here to somewhere else. Preferably without being taxed, if you understand what I mean.
And he looks at you for a moment and... okay. What do you want me to do about that?
Okay, see, this is where you should look embarrassed. One, I didn't stop in here at random. I've heard about you around. I work with the guild.
You work with the guild, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Come to the back with me.
Right now?
Yes, right now.
All right. So Wendell will try to very casually head on into the back.
He takes you into the back. He opens up a room to a storeroom. Or a door to a storeroom.
Okay.
Waves you inside.
Okay. I will head in.
Give me a perception check. Yeah, so you step inside and turn around just in time to notice he's not following you inside the room.
Okay. I will give him a kind of perplexed look. Is this the place that you think would be a safe room?
He pokes his head in for a moment and looks around. Yeah, it's got no windows and one door. It looks pretty safe to me. And
One door is definitely a deal breaker.
he closes the door with you inside.
Amateurs.
And you start hearing crates being piled up against a door from outside. And you hear... Give me one more perception check. We'll see if you actually hear.
Nope.
Oh, nope, you're lucky
that's
we
right.
rolled it.
I've got the luck.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's hard to make out through the door, but you hear him muttering something about the Inspectors Guild.
God damn it.
And that is where we're going to pause for tonight.
That is fantastic.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Love it.
Oh shit.
So, well, that also kind of gives us a wealth of potential information, though.
Yeah.
That, Wendell's talking about being in the guild and everything and
He
wants to
assumes
use him
Inspector.
for smuggling.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
First thing
he's
he thinks
like, fuckers. It's like, yeah, I could see him just being like, I am getting sick and tired of being used by these rat bastards. I'm going to teach them a lesson, kind of a thing.
it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, so much speculation.
Got a whole week to think about it too.
Oh, yeah.
Right. One thing I gotta know real quick though is, on the job description, there's a sentence that says, "Don't care what, but it has to be big enough that his connections in the hands can't sweep it under the rug." Do we know who the hands are?
The hands are the hands of the king. They're the city police, basically.
Ah, okay, cool. All right, sweet,
hmm
cool. Damn, that's some drama we're popping off over here.
Right? Serious
Shit.
drama llamas here.